Have you ever tasted something that tells a story? Well, that's mole, one of Mexico's most iconic dishes. But behind its delicious flavor, there's history, culture, and even a little legend. Let me tell you more about it. Mole Poblano comes from Puebla, a city in central Mexico. It is a thick, rich sauce made with more than 20 ingredients, including different kinds of dried chiles, nuts, spices, and even chocolate. It is most commonly served over turkey or chicken, especially during celebrations, holidays, and family meetings. Mole has two origin stories, being the first one an urban legend that it is in Puebla. There's this famous story that mole was invented by accident. According to this urban legend, nuns at the convent of Santa Rosa in Puebla were told that a bishop or a viceroy was coming to visit. They didn't have much, so they mixed together everything they had: chile, old bread, nuts, chocolate, spices, and hoped that the sauce was the best sauce ever. The result? Mole Poblano. But the real origin comes into the pre-Hispanic era, where nobles have decided to develop a sauce called mole that was a mixture of chiles and spices that were found here in Mexico. This sauce was thick and it was called mole. After colonization, European ingredients like cinnamon or almonds were added. Mole Poblano is actually a mix of indigenous and Spanish culinary traditions, a perfect sample of how Mexico has a mixed identity. Mole is part of our Mexican gastronomy that in 2010 was inscribed in the list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO. Since in their own words, traditional Mexican cuisine is a comprehensive cultural model comprising family, ritual, practices, farming, Asian skills, culinary techniques, and ancestral community customs and manners. The explanation clearly reflects what mole represents for us Mexicans, a dish that has historical origin, that it is not easy to make due to the complexity of its ingredients, the Asian skills, and even the customs or manners of the ancestral community, accompanied by the fact that it also has a legend around itself, wrapping around one of the most successful Mexican dishes throughout history. Mole is more than just food. It is a symbol of culture, tradition, and family. Recipes are passed down through generations, often with each family adding their own twist. Preparing mole is a ritual, especially during festivals or family reunions. Sadly, mole culture is being lost, so that's why we made an interview with Jimena to know more about the point of view of a gastronomy student on how mole culture is not as popular as tacos or tostadas in the youth people of Mexico or even in the whole world. ¿Crees que esta parte de que no se valora lo suficiente viene más del exterior o inclusive dentro del mismo México?
Pues creo que inclusive del mismo México, obviamente también pues alrededor del mundo, pues mucha gente no conoce pues los ingredientes o tal vez les asusta como probar platillos exóticos como el mole, porque pues al ser una combinación de picante y chocolate, o sea, dulce, pues sí es algo como que te llama la atención, ¿no? Entonces, pues creo que sí se ha perdido como esta parte del reconocimiento y no solamente en México, sino también pues alrededor de todo el mundo.
For rescuing the cultural part of mole, I have come with a dissemination proposal. The proposal is divided in three phases and has the focus on educational and generational knowledge shared. The first phase of the proposal will be focused on the investigation and documentation of the material used for these interactive platforms. For this, interviews and workshops will be recorded and carried out in situ with traditional cooks, so they can share their recipes and their stories with the world. The recording of videos of the process and the creation of mole will also be included in this phase by documenting every step to get to the mole recipe, so people can see the families that work in different areas, such as agriculture, mills, and industrialization of mole productions. The phase 2 of the project will be focused on the compilation of the material and creation of web pages and interactive videos with the material collected in phase 1. First, the creation and development of a web page and a mobile application will take place. After the platform is done, the editing of the material will be carried out in every sense. First, with the addition of the videos. Second, printing of the recipe books, social media publications, etc. Finally, in the third phase of the project, there will be the implementation of the material created in the phase 2 to the community network and the educational communities. With help of the Ministry of Public Education, we will show the material to different schools. At the beginning, the plan is to run a pilot in different public schools of Puebla. And regarding the results of the pilot program, the program will be gradually implemented in the schools of the whole country. Our project will be justified in three pillars. Firstly, talking about culture. Secondly, talking about identity. And finally, talking about heritage. About culture, well, our project follows culture in three main sense. Firstly, with the knowledge, secondly, with the art, and thirdly, with the customs. The part of the knowledge is acknowledged with the students and how they will be shared, how the content will be shared with them. Secondly, with the art, because we acknowledge that cooking, mole is an art, but we also are going to record videos and make material that will be considered as art because we're sharing something to the world. But thirdly, and most importantly, the customs. We will be sharing real and original content about mole. This is really important because it helps us to preserve culture as it is in its origin, but also to modify the culture in terms of how people can interact with this project. But with the definition of the United Nations Library, culture is that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, morals, law, customs, and any other capacities and habits acquired by a man as a member of the society. Secondly, in terms of identity, we think that we're sharing mole to the world because we're sharing in a spotlight that it is the internet. By a definition of Hazing history, identity refers to our sense of who we are as individuals and as members of social groups. It also refers to our sense of how others may perceive and label us. So that's why we are talking about identity, because we should be proud of our dishes, but it is also that the recognition of mole is also a symbol of belonging and our shared pride as Mexicans. Thirdly, talking about heritage, well, as the UNESCO defines heritage as artifacts, monuments, a group of buildings and sites, museums that have a diversity of values, including symbolic, artistic, historic, aesthetic, ethnological, or anthropological, scientific, and social significance, we're creating a platform that is similar to a museum, but that exposes this intangible heritage that is mole. We are exposing the know-how of the people, how people prepare mole, etc. So that's why we are talking about heritage with this project.